Is it just me or are things getting really stupid? Nah, it's probably me. Nah, things are getting stupid. Is it me? I don't know. Maybe it's always been this way. I've had a lot of my older relatives who've passed away who said the more things change, the more they stay the same. And God, I miss them because they were right. Because this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I mean, first you had AOC streaming on Twitch playing Madden football with good old tampon Tim. I mean, Tim Waltz, Governor Tim Waltz. Now, Kamala and the Democrats have a big brain plan. It's so huge and stupid that I really have to wonder, is anyone taking this seriously anymore? Because I feel like a clown now. Kamala Harris is courting gamers using Fortnite in the last week of the U.S. presidential campaign. New Fortnite creative maps supporting the campaign will make a push for young male voters. See, now maybe I jump up and down and act like a clown or something like this, maybe make you guys laugh, but I gotta tell you, there's only a few times where I see something that makes me sad or depressed, and it's this stuff right here. And look, hey, listen, you could be like, "Kid, that's crazy. Why would you talk about Fortnite?" Well, here it is from IGN. It's the final week before the U.S. 2024 presidential election. Thank you, whoever above. God Almighty, Saint Buddha, Saint Abachan. And in the waning hours of her campaign, Vice President Kamala Harris is making a bid to a group that's not often targeted in such races: gamers. Hang on, brace yourself, okay? We're gonna lose some brain cells today. And look, hey, you got to reach out to voters. I think that's fine. But Kamala, Democrat, who thought this was a good idea? Today, Harris' campaign is launching its own Fortnite map. Freedom Town, USA. Oh, geez. Oh, my God. It's so stupid. Freedom Town, USA. It's a custom creative map themed around some of Harris' campaign pledges, including tax breaks for small businesses and a focus on affordable housing. The map can be found in Fortnite Creative starting using the code 733-155-366-547 and can be observed in dedicated partner streams from Fortnite content creators such as Jordan Huskerus, Thomas, Moldemorg, Himalayas, Carrie K. Harris. I know those are names and things. I just don't think I pronounced them properly. Freedom Town, USA is joined by political takeovers of at least 8 other Fortnite creative maps: Drive City, Troll Bed Wards, Meme Box Fights, Super Box PvP, Football Box Fights, Bullseye 2v2, Bullseye 1v1, and Bullseye 3v3, which will include political in-game signage, custom models, and themed audio cues. One of these cues, played when collecting a cat, plays a quote from Harris's rival from former President Donald Trump. They're eating the dogs, eating the cats. This could backfire terribly on the Democrats. Let me explain why. Okay. Now listen, we're all adults here. We're all adults. In the realm of gaming, there's a lot of smack talking. In the realm of gaming, there's a lot of trolls. There's a lot of people who like to make jokes and do stupid things sometimes. Funny stuff, stupid stuff, hilarious stuff, crazy stuff, doing all this stuff. But listen, for a long time, a lot of gamers have been smeared and slandered by corporate media. I don't know, Kamala. Maybe work more on policies and trying to not stutter and stammer all over the place. Maybe. On yesterday's show, hold on, walk back and forth, because apparently, hold on, I got to put this away here. Let me get a wide shot of me wearing pants. Because apparently, in their infinite wisdom, the Democrats are trying to reach out online, social media, by being streamers or doing all this funny, crazy stuff. You had 4 years. It is inexcusable. 4 years to do something, to make our lives better. And you did nothing. Nothing fundamentally changed. It just got worse. And the fact that we have to talk down to these liberals, this is the best you can do. This is your best plan. It took Kamala Harris's campaign 48 days. 48 days. That's more than a month. 48 days. Put policies on their campaign website. And whoever the coda was still had vote Joe Biden on it. 4 years. Can you imagine 4 years of Kamala? But this is the best they could do. Oh, so I'm willing to bet. Every single gamer dude is gonna be looking for the cat just to hear that quote. Oh, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Jesus Christ, Trump. You know what? No matter what happens, Trump's name is going to be immortal. He's going to live forever in human history. So there you go. There you go. Continuing on with the madness, because let's be crazy. This move comes as part of a recent broader appeal made by the Harris campaign to reach young male voters through video games. Other recent efforts includes Geeks and Nerds for Harris fundraiser. Oh, God. A weekend Twitch stream where vice presidential candidate Governor Tim Walz played Madden NFL, and Crazy Taxi with Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and a number of advertising efforts across mobile games, sports betting platforms, and YouTube channels. The Harris campaign is also advertised on IGN. You can view our policy on the separation of editorial and advertising interests here. I'll see, because they got to put that in there. So in other words, yeah, you're advertising her on IGN. Great. While the Trump campaign has not made a similar targeted push to gamer audiences, the former president has commented on video games before. During his tenure in the White House, Trump blamed violent video games for for a shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, saying that such games were shaping young people's thoughts. That's not true. Video games do not encourage violence. They don't do that. There's violence everywhere. There's many reasons why people are snapping. Maybe it's because we have a crumbling economy. But listen, this is saying a lot about our entire election cycle, our politicians. So I'm going to play this video here. Look, there probably is a reason why Trump's not doing a video game push or going on Twitch and streaming or anything else of that nature. Yes, he was interviewed by Aiden Ross, who's on Kick. That's fine, whatever. But this is a desperate attempt for the Democrats to be cool or try and be hip. But how is it that you're reaching out to young men and gamers now, when for a long time, liberals and Democrats, you've been talking down to young men and gamers for quite some time? I mean, it is what it is. I call it a low IQ move from Kamala, but I think Trump can say it better.
Kamala's gross incompetence disqualifies her from being president of the United States. She is unfit for office. Everyone knows it. No one respects her. No one trusts her. No one takes her seriously. Everyone knows she is a low IQ individual.
Listen, Trump. I know. And listen. We all know that Trump's going to say he's the smartest guy ever. He's so intelligent. Look, man, Trump, you're no spring chicken either. Okay, pot calling kettle black. I mean, you've done some pretty low IQ moves too. All right. And my prime example, the worst thing you could ever do that was very stupid, was help with the detention of Julian Assange. Okay. I'm never going to let that go, because that blew open the door, be it intentional or unintentional, or you were tricked, whatever. The reason why censorship's so bad, because of that stupid, dumb mistake.
From humiliating our country in Afghanistan, to the war in Ukraine, to the nightmare on our border, to her inflation catastrophe, to her egregious hurricane response, which your state also suffered. Worse since Katrina. They say maybe worse than Katrina. You can ask the people of North Carolina about that. Kamala Harris is a train wreck. I mean, this is a train wreck who has destroyed everything in her path. To make her president would be to gamble with the lives of millions of people. She would get us into World War III, because she is too grossly incompetent to do the job. And then...
Listen, Trump, listen. All right, when you ordered the strike on that one Iranian general, there was a lot of concern about WW3 happening as well. But nonetheless, sorry to that, talking smack to the dear leader of North Korea. But I'd love to live in a timeline where we don't have the threat of World War III on the horizon. I just like to go back to when maybe things were a little bit more reasonable, but that's asking too much.
All of your sons and daughters will end up getting a draft notice, a thing called a draft. Dad, what's this? Oh, congratulations, you've been drafted into the military. You're going to fight a war against a country that nobody's ever heard of. Isn't it true? Isn't it ridiculous? Our enemies are laughing at her.
Yes, and when you have stuff like this, Kamala was asked to do an IQ test.
Donald Trump was on Joe Rogan, and he called you, Madam Vice President, a very low IQ person, and said, I think she needs to take a cognitive test. I think Kamala should have a test because there's something missing. There's something wrong with her. Donald Trump.
Oh, God. Why do we live in the, we're not living in the worst timeline. We're just living in a very disappointing and sad timeline. Very, very sad, extremely sad. So what can we learn from this? In the final days, by the way, folks, how many days do we have? Not including today or the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 days. 6 days. 6 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, not a fun 6-pack. So you could drink a beer. No. We got 6 days until this nightmare is over. And in their desperate attempt in trying to be relevant to young people and voters, the Democrats are trying to hook onto video games and social media as though that will solve the problem. That won't solve jack. That's not going to do a damn thing. It's not going to help anybody out. This is the best the Democrats can do. And this tells me that there has to be a fear growing in the Kamala Harris camp. Now, there are polling data showing that they're neck and neck or Kamala's in the lead. And if that's the case, fine. But what kind of real significant lead does she have? How enthusiastic is her voting base? Because all the events we've been covering all look to be manufactured or hyped up or look to be grossly incompetent. IGN covering an article. Kamala Harris doing a Fortnite map called Freedom Town. Does this inspire a voter to turn out to vote? There are many Americans right now wondering if they're going to make it past tomorrow. Many people in my viewing audience are dealing with medical ailments or taking care of a senior citizen or taking care of somebody who's sick as well. And we don't know how we're going to make ends meet. And a lot of those gamers on social media, they go to play video games to get away from this madness, from political commentary, from politics. And now it's going to be right there in their face. And many of those gamers probably have to deal with loved ones who are struggling too, their families who are trying to make ends meet. Or maybe, they're taking care of a loved one. They only got a few short, precious an hour or maybe a few minutes, maybe half hour just to play a video game. And then boom, what they see, some politician, some jagoff politician saying, hey, vote for me. Things have got to change here, folks. But this is stupid and insulting. And this is the best that the Democrats can do. Now, this is pure desperation. And when your opponent is desperate, they're going to be doing everything they can so that you could pay attention to them and side with them. This isn't good, folks.